draw for the participants, uh, sponsored by the Mr. Pulin of worth 20,000 rupees. So we will have, and now among us, Honorable High Court Judge is present. After that, he will speak, and then we have award ceremony. Now I would like to invite Honorable High Court Judge to the stage.
Mr. Singh, do you have my visiting card?
No, sir.
Then how do I participate in the lucky draw?
So, Suman, come.
Oh, क्या ये बाउल अच्छा Mr. Joy from Snapdeal. Award will go to Kaviraj.
All of them are Mr. Saros Jaiwal.
He's here. Okay. On some young chap.
Ankit Sharma.
Mr. Ankit Sharma. There's a gift voucher from Reebok. Mr. Adidas, yes, Adidas, sorry. both brands are together now, yeah. Dr. B. Kalaivanan. Thank you, sir.
Rajiv Kumar Chaudhary.
Mr. Rajiv Kumar Chaudhary.
No.
Pass on.
Nishant Gaurav Gupta. Nidhi Mathur.
Miss Nidhi Mathur.
Left.
Chal.
Jamir.
Mr. Jamir Nathani.
Next time, Raymond is, he's a complete man.
So Raymond must give you something. Raymond.
Raymond is will sponsor next time.
हो गया? Done. May I request my friends to take seats if they are available now, so we can start today's program. Kaviraj? You can sit there, that side of the room. Mr. Kaviraj Singh is the Secretary General of our association, Indian National Bar Association. He will give a brief accounts of the contribution of this organization, the legal and social theme, in this year programs 15-16. Mr. Kaviraj Singh, kindly come in.
The first thing is, we also celebrated Valentine Day. Some people may not like. Right. We have Unity in Diversity, our program. Then we have taken a delegation to the Washington DC, New York, London uh, during this period, and then we have organized the debate, IPR debate among the students and paid more than 2 lakh rupees prizes in that. Besides, we have done a research work in association with Sullivan and Sullivan on the e-pharmacy that was submitted to Niti Aayog, and now Niti Aayog is inviting comments to amend the Drug and Pharmaceutical Act. We have also worked a lot in the area of data protection and privacy, and that's also report has been already submitted to Government of India, and we wish that in this cyber era we must have some privacy law so that common person is aware what can be disclosed and what cannot be disclosed and how to deal with the information every IT company is collecting from everybody without knowing us. Among the other activity, we also had organized a few moot court to promote and support the students. Another research work done by INBA is on the how to promote arbitration and mediation, and published the report digitally as well as in a print format, and submitted how to make arbitration really successful. Another research work done by the legislative gaps in the cyber era and GST. INBA has also presented a report on the liberalization of Indian legal market. However, after the withdrawal of BCI rule without any reason so now we are working towards how to take our legal profession a step ahead and give a good and better life or future to our younger generation in our legal system. Unfortunately, here I would like to say that CA Institute does a lot of research work, education, publications. CS Institute does the same thing. I don't remember any other body that of C Institute or like BCI are not doing the lot of welfare activity of their member as well as their peer colleague research work. But when it comes to the to a profession of a lawyer, our legal profession, I don't remember never that BCI has any time undertaken any welfare activity, any research project or educational, or I think they are really good in, even our leadership is not doing any practice. Most of the time I have seen it. These people are elected. So, so what you can expect out of them? So we need to examine ourselves and see these people are do something. So we are trying to do something to our profession as well as undertaking very social welfare projects. Today itself, we have published the l- largest survey. That was the online as well as the on-site survey on the sexual harassment. The result were really, really some depressing. Industry has changed and there's a lot of sexual harassment. People are not aware even aware about the what is the sexual harassment. Basically, sexual harassment is not considered as a sexual harassment by many people because they think unless you physically touch you or uh, something extra happens, then they consider it sexual harassment. So most of the companies outside the NCR or what you call is Bangalore. In UP, we find most of the company doesn't have even a provision or ICC internal committee for undertaking the reports. So that is our purpose of this sexual harassment survey was to spread the awareness as well as to make aware. We did various seminars and that project really helped a large number of people around India to understand the gravity of these social issues. And I would like to say that legal industry is not better than other industries. Sometimes I think it's a third number or fourth. It's a third or fourth number of this sexual harassment case reported in legal industry. Fourth, third. So Indian legal industry stand at the third worst sexual harassers. So I will request our fraternity to be more careful and to be more vigil. And I, I think I tried to phone and call the few law firms, and I could not find a clear answer whether they have a ICC, proper ICC in their own law firm. So it's a very serious thing for us. We will like to now encourage our members at least to follow it and just be a torchbearer to the other people. Next year we will have the award of pro bono. Any lawyer who does best and the most of the a lot of pro bono work, we will have a award. So in every country, lawyers do that. I think I'm taking too much time. So let me thank our volunteers. All these are the students. So all these are our students in various law schools. They have worked for the past 24 hours continuously without any sleep. They have not went to home for this conference. And we would like to thank as well Archana and even. Please. So take one good photograph. So we don't employ or engage any event management company to do our own events. We always do it simply based on volunteers. So sometime you may find a little bit difference. So I will request you, please consider it is being organized by these students. Thank you, sir. So, I would like to thank my INBA's sponsors, partners who supported us in helping us to organize this event. Now, I request Sumanji to, uh, yeah, to say a few words and request.
Thanks, Kaviraj. This brings us to our last session of this day, which is called award ceremony. Each year, INBA recognizes the contribution of our professional friends in the field of law and in field of social justice, and all sorts of activities covered with the legal field for their contribution. And today's awards will be given by Justice Siddharth Mridul, who is a judge in Delhi High Court, very illustrious family of lawyers, and he himself is a distinguished judge. And sir, we'd like to have your, to begin with this, some few words to all of us, so we can.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Normally, I prefer nowadays to address a gathering whilst seated. There are a large number of reasons for that. As a judge of the High Court, when I am seated on the dais, I draw lines around myself and limit my submissions to what is absolutely essential to take the debate forward. When you stand, it goes back to the time when I was at the bar, when you could address a lamppost for a fee for days on end. I'm not far removed from that, and there is always a distinct possibility that I may someday get back to functioning as a hired gun. But for the moment, it's preferable for me to limit myself to the barest possible words. I see that the conference organized by INBA has had a wide attendance of legal luminaries from all over the world. I see the number of law firms that have participated, the number of business associations that have thrown in their weight behind this conference. I also see Mr. Zaiwala, who needs no introduction, and I see Mr. Malhotra, who doesn't need any introduction either amongst the gathering. Mr. Zaiwala's brother was a colleague of mine whilst I was cutting my teeth on counsel practice at the High Court of Judicature at Bombay. Mr. Malhotra, of course, has been an integral part of the legal services system in India, having retired as the Secretary of the Law Ministry, Legal Affairs and Company Affairs. I see that Mr. Jetwalani is missing. They shouldn't have told him I'd be here. And I see that Mr. Tulsi is missing as well. I'm sure it's that time of the evening where his services would be required elsewhere. But I'm carrying my weapon of choice on a day which we must all remember. Today is Samvidhan Day. The Constitution of India, our Granth, came into being today. And it was a labor of love, and I believe that it must determine the course that this country and humanity is to take in the years to come. This is also the day, it's also a sad day that a champion of the working classes, one of the principal revolutionaries of the world, passed away today, Fidel Castro. I'm sure not all of us agree with his ideology, but I'm sure most of us find it in our heart to to remember him fondly for what he did for the working classes and as a true patriot. Well, I think I've said enough. But before I conclude, I must point out that Mr. Singh spoke about sexual harassment and social welfare and how the elected leaders in this profession are not doing enough. Well, let me confess, I was an elected leader for long years. I don't know if that was a comment directed at me. I surely hope not. But that's right. The lawyers are expected to be and have been the leaders of thought and action in society. Had it not been for a lawyer, there would have been no French Revolution, for example. And regardless of how balefully we look at the outcome of the French Revolution, it introduced the world to certain inalienable human rights, which we must all recognize and uphold. It's the duty of lawyers, apart from earning a livelihood, to contribute to the growth of society in terms of social welfare, socio-economic, political justice, and liberty, equality, and fraternity. And mind you, these are not empty words. If lawyers lead the way, we can take India to the next higher step to find its place in the comity of nations. Thank you so much for inviting me. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. And we certainly will take lead from you. Now, for me to announce some awards from International Bar Association. And the first award is the Lifetime Achievement Award for Legal Excellence. This award goes to Mr. Sarosh Jaiwala. Mr. Jaiwala founded Jaiwala and Company Solicitors in April 1982 with office in Chancery Lane, London. He oversees all the activities, firm which over the years, and Mr. Jaiwala is a doyen in the field. Thank you, Mr. Jaiwala. Yeah, please, please.
First of all, I'm extremely grateful for this award, especially when you get from your own peers. And I'm particularly honored to be in India today because when I started my firm, there were no other Indian law firm in the 1 square mile district of City of London, which is because there were Indian lawyers, but they were in Southall and doing just immigration and criminal law. And I said, if you can't beat them, then you have to join them. And I insisted on starting with my own Indian name. And 2 or 3 years ago, I was interviewed on the television in England and said, tell me, what is the secret of your success? And I said, my Indianness, because many lawyers came from India and they changed their name, they put anglicized name or they call themselves some funny names. And I think people must be proud that we are Indian and they accept us as we are Indian. Today, we are the only, England is very different from the United States because the United States is a country of immigrants, whereas England is a country of natives and they had ruled 2/5 of the world. So there was this block. Even with the EU, that is the biggest bloc, that they won the Second World War, therefore they should be part of EU. But today, there are over 104 reported judgments where my firm has acted for one of the parties. And today we are acting for Russia, we are acting for China, and we have in the English court today the largest ever claim in the English court, which is $4 billion, after we won in the Supreme Court for Iran, Bank Mellat of Iran, the private bank. Then the Supreme Court said that the UK government had acted unlawfully and irrationally in listing Bank Mellat, which is the largest private bank. And today we have a large claim. And in the last 5 years, believe it or not, the 2 case of the years came from my firm. One was Hashwani versus Jivraj, which went up to the Supreme Court, is now before the EU Commission, where the issue was whether an arbitration clause can have a term that the arbitrator should belong to a particular religious community. and it's for the Ismaili community, high office holder, and we appointed a High Court judge was Jewish, and they said no, not acceptable, and the High Court said that there was a freedom of choice. The Court of Appeal said no, and the matter went to Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court says a freedom of choice. But unusually, the Court of Appeal would give the judgment went public and wrote an article that the Supreme Court was lobbied by ICC and other arbitration organization. But one good thing about UK is its complete independence of the judges, and long may it also remain in India. And I think the judge is absolutely right that really we should give the lead that law is for justice and not justice for law. And the most important thing is that we have to be honest. You can play with the law, but never with the facts. You have a duty to assist the judge with the clear facts, and that is a very, very important. And if we have that principle, India will be great again.
Thank you, Mr. Jaiwala. Now, second award goes to contribution in the legal field from government sector, and none other than Mr. P.K. Malhotra, former Secretary Law and Justice. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. For next award, I am calling my colleague, Mr. Ramaswamy. Mr. Ramaswamy, please do with.
Thank you, Mr. Saman. The next on the list is once again a lifetime award, lifetime achievement award in the area of social arena. And it gives me profound pleasure because I know this gentleman and the kind of sheer brilliance and the sheer benevolence that he brings. I am honored, sir, to actually announce the award in the name of Dr. Khalid Manihar.
Now, next award is very special for me, and again, Women Lawyer of the Year, and this award goes to Miss Rebecca Memon John, Senior Advocate, Delhi High Court. She is a very dear friend of ours and first criminal lawyer in Delhi High Court to be designated Senior Advocate. Please give a huge round of applause for Rebecca. Rebecca, before you leave, just few words for our young lawyers here.
When Suman asked me to come here, I was actually overwhelmed and very surprised because I didn't know why anyone would remember me. As a woman lawyer, this is dedicated to all young women who want to practice law, who want to uphold the Constitution of India, which is under some threat today. I think the biggest and the most important book that we must always keep with us is the Constitution of India. And as young women lawyers, I hope you always look at the spirit of the Constitution and imbibe it and practice it. Criminal law is a difficult area of law to practice. I deal with a very dark world, a world where people don't come to me happily, a world which sees a lot of pain. But in the end, it teaches you compassion. And I think lawyers should be compassionate before they are lawyers. So it's a long journey. And I hope all of you remember the fact that Lawyers really are the pillars of civil society. Lawyers must uphold constitutional rights, civil liberties, and lawyers must never, never subvert the law. Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. We are honored to be here. Now, next, Mr. Ramaswamy.
Again, gives me great pleasure to announce the next award. The next award goes to the IP Practice Law Firm of the Year 2016, and great pleasure I announce the name of Mr. Chandarlal, who needs no introduction. Chandar represents Sing and Sing, Lal and Sethi, which has got merged.
This is really not my award. So whoever from Sing and Sing, Lal and Sethi is here, can I please call you up on stage? This is not my award. This is more your award than my award. So please, I think the others are on the way. We're expecting a 7:15 start. Typical Sing and Sing, Lal and Sethi trait. Okay. Come on, having a bit. Okay. Can we do this again, please? If you don't mind. Really, I'm sorry for putting you all through this, but it's really their award. I'm only the one of the many. As you know, it's a firm award. It's not an individual award. So I really want everybody to be up here.
Yeah, Honorable Judge rightly said that you always ask for the Passover, but he did not ask for the Passover. He won the award twice now.
Thanks, Chandra. Next award is Capital and Finance Market, Law Firm of the Year 2016, and Mr. Sumesh Diwan, Managing Partner, Lex Fabios, is the nominee.
India is in the age of startups now, the young brigade taking over. So immense pleasure once again, ladies and gentlemen, to announce the next category of awards, which is the Startup Law Firm of the Year award. And personally delighted, Salman, that you are getting it. Salman Waris, Partner, Tech Legacy.
Now, next award category is Taxation Lawyer of the Year 2016, and jury has chosen Mr. Sujit Ghosh, Partner, National Head, Adjutant Legal. Mr. Sujit Ghosh. Thanks, Shujit. The next award is Real Estate Lawyer of the Award 2016, Ms. Shweta Bharti, Senior Partner, Hammurabi and Solomon.
On a lighter note, I think I'm getting younger by the day because I'm announcing awards for the younger generation. Thank you once again. The next award is Young Emerging Lawyer of the Year 2016, and the gentleman who is about to get it is perhaps one of the youngest members of India to represent in the UN, and his name is Dr. Anirudh Rajput, and he was recently elected by the UN General Assembly as a member of the United Nations International Law Commission. Welcome.
Next award is Contribution to the Field of Risk Management, Security and Forensic. And this award goes to Mr. Sanjay Kaushik, Managing Director, Netrika Consulting, a great friend of ours. Thanks, Sanjay. And now the complete man, we call him Mr. Jameel Nathani, Director Legal. We have chosen him General Counsel of the Year 2016. Mr. Jameel Nathani. He is from Raymond, so we call him Complete Man.
Education is the backbone, and we all need to respect our teachers. And again, it's pride that I'm announcing this award on behalf of INBA for the Law Professor of the Year 2016, and the award goes to Professor Dr. C.J. Hon'ble. He represents Symbiosis Law College, Noida.
Well, of course, this award goes to my Guruji. His name is Bikaji Guruji, and I should share, even after his retirement, he is still teaching in the school to our own kids. And his fees is, of course, he doesn't get salary from the government. So his salary is paid by who else? All the students who have been taught by him. And he is still kicking, and he is 82 years now. But he is still teaching, so it goes to Bikaji Guruji, and of course to the best teacher in my life, my grandmother, who is fortunately among us because she is immortal. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
The next categories of awards are for the General Counsel. So once again, being a General Counsel myself, even though past, So let me announce the award for the General Counsel of the Year 2016 in the sector of retail, Mr. Pankaj Patel, Head Legal, Corporate Planning, Future Retail Group. Carrying further with the GC Awards, my personal privilege to be stating this, that Mr. Anupam Sharan, Director Legal, Regulatory and Compliance, is the General Counsel of the year 2016 for the banking sector. Well done, Anupam. The General Counsel of the Year award in the energy sector for 2016 goes to Mr. Rajesh Sehgal. He is the Head Legal and Regulatory Compliance India.
Thanks, Rajesh. And now this, the rising GCs of the year 2016 is a female, Miss Tarjana Roy, Legal Counsel, Snapdeal. Thanks, Tarjana. Now, same award, Rising In-House Counsel for the year 2016, male, goes to Mr. Vivek Tyagi, Legal Counsel, Adidas India Group.
Once again carrying on with the General Counsel of the Year award, but this time in the mutual fund sector. Happy to announce the name of Mr. Munish Sood, Chief Legal and Compliance Officer, Reliance Nippon Life Asset Management Limited.
Thanks, Mukesh. Now we comes to the Rising In-House Counsel for the year 2016, Compliance. An award goes to Ms. Tanima Tandon, Compliance Leadership Training Program at GE. Thanks, Tanima. In the real estate sector, in-house counsel for the year 2016 goes to Mr. Ami Jamal, General Counsel, Ansel Housing and Construction Limited.
Now we are left with the last two categories, in no way least. I start once again with pride to announce the Law Student of the Year 2016. May God bless him, with many, many years more of success. And the Law Student of the Year award goes to Akshay Arora, student of Government Law College, Mumbai. Finally, we'll come to an end of the award ceremony with the Best Emerging Law School of the Year 2016. And for this, may I call on stage Mr. M.K. Bajpai to present this award. I'm announcing. I just wanted the person to be here first. And the award goes to the School of Law, Ansel University. In fact, my fox pass, I thought it has to be given by Mr. N.K. Bajpai. Sir, my apologies. You are collecting it on behalf of the School of Law. So I stand corrected. It's not over yet. I'm coming down. Just to take some sound bites. May I have a mic, please? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here and participating in this glittering event. I'd like to go down to some of the award winners and ask them how they feel. So I'll start, sir, with you, Mr. Malhotra. You've been really a guiding force for me also. Whenever I wanted, you have given me your audience and your benevolence. How do you feel, sir, and what do you want to say on this national award?
First of all, I thank the Indian National Bar Association and the jury members for honoring me with this award, which I don't know whether I deserve it or not. Probably jury probably found it that I deserve it, but I don't know whether I have really come up to the mark when I was working or at the helm of the affair in the Ministry of Law and Justice for 3.5 years as Secretary to the Government of India. Frankly speaking, the Ministry of Law and Justice in the Government of India is the most important ministry because all departments of the Government of India, they consult Law Ministry on all legal issues. So I expected my officers to be free and frank in their opinion, and probably this is one reason for which probably jury might have considered my name. This is what I feel, and I have always tried to give frank opinion. As a bureaucrat, although I belong to the legal profession, but the fact remains I'm a bureaucrat, and as a bureaucrat my duty was that to the policy maker, the politicians, I must give my frank opinion, and thereafter, whatever mandate I get, I must carry it out. I have tried to do that to the best of my ability. Thanks again to the Indian National Bar Association for honoring me this award. Thank you very much.
Sir, in fact, your sheer presence here is a great blessing for us. Thank you very much, and many, many years of happiness to you and good health. Where can I see the young boy who got the award? Yeah, Government Law. Where is he? Can he raise his left? He's already left. I thought maybe, we'll move focus from one end to the other, but that's okay. And anyhow, coming back to the lady once again, you did share your thoughts, but maybe on a larger platform, how do you feel the Make in India campaign moving on? If you can see, that's we have been accorded that recognition by the DIPP to be using that logo. And since we have been ushering in the social and the legal arena causes, so what would you like to say on that? Maybe on a Make in India and how we are all making contributions.
I'm a litigating lawyer. I practice in courts. For me,
Bringing down dependency?
yes, of course, bringing down pendency, but ultimately parties need to be heard, litigants need to be heard, And I think we must create a system where every litigant who goes to court feels that he is heard. I hope that that can be achieved at some future date. It doesn't look very bright at the moment, but I hope we bring down pendency, and I hope that at a future date we are able to present litigants to court who genuinely feel satisfied that they were heard, irrespective of whether they won or lost in court.
Any idea, ma'am, on the arbitration ushering more of ADR?
I will. Yes, I definitely believe that a lot of cases are filed which should not be filed. I think the state is the greatest litigator in this country. I believe things like arbitration and other out-of-court compromise settlements should be used. A lot of commercial litigation which is there, even on the criminal side, will decrease if that happens.
Thank you very much. Compliance needs no introduction, and the rising in-house council of the year 2016 compliance law. Where do we have Tanima Tandon? Okay, Tanima, what do you say? How would you shape the destiny of our country in the coming years as a young GC?
Thank you so much, sir. First of all, thank you so much to INBA for providing me with this recognition and this honor. It's really a great opportunity, and since it was my first time at an INBA conference, I can honestly say it was a pleasure to see people from all walks of life, lawyers from all walks of life, GCs, practitioners, just risk assessment, management teams come together and be able to discuss issues openly. I think we have a really great future going ahead if we can just be open within our own community and share best practices with each other.
Wonderful. So as I said during my conference, I said we should have the respect for the law and the rule for the law, and the respect but not the fear for the law. Thank you very much. I believe, sir, you have to leave, but in case I have your permission for another 2 minutes to take a round. Oh, my apologies. Very well said as a judge, sir. I couldn't have. I beg pardon. Thank you. So, in a way, sir, you have given me liberty to extend my time indefinitely. I go back to a student once again. And I asked her, how did she experience today's complete day's deliberation? Very short. Chris.
I think it was very encouraging, and it gave me the opportunity to interact and gain a lot of ideas. And I also found the spirit to think and innovate and do something of my own and have faith in my ideas. I really liked it.
Thank you. Very well said, and I see a big future for you. Sir? How would you rate today's conference, and do you think that the subjects which were taken were the norm of the day? Do they address the issues which are coming up and how we tackle them?
Yes, this has been a very nice conference today. I have learned a lot of things, and of course, I think that this conference this year comes in a very special situation after all these new things in India, where the removal of 500 and 1,000 rupee notes and all other reforms that are on the table. So, like the Indian society is changing, also all the law people who are in the advocates and the solicitors or whatever you are doing needs to follow suit and follow the new world that is coming here.
Sir, I just got a piece of information, pardon my ignorance, but I believe you're a 1980 to 83 batch. Am I correct?
Degree or the time when I qualified as a lawyer?
Maybe the college part.
Yeah, I passed out in 1983.
So, sir, we are batchmates.
Well, all the more reason we have the liberty to cross swords.
Thank you. Dr. Manihar, pleasure again having you here, and I'd just like to have, and I would like your thought process especially on how Indo-Dubai can really foster, businesses and usher, the best in each other.
First of all, thank you very much for conferring this award onto me. And what I say briefly, Dubai is like at present India, where the government is taking a lot of pain to ensure that the businessmen prosper. And I think that's the success of Dubai. Thank you.
Anupam, banking sector is under, I would say they are the real foot soldiers today, being akin to the army. What do you feel? How the banking sector is going to evolve? Because now we are moving towards a cashless economy. So any thoughts on that, and what safeguards need to be done for the general public?
I think we should be patient. That is one thing, sir, which we need to do. The other thing is that we should be very particular about what we share and to whom we share. And it does not only mean your credit card details or your PIN, but anything and everything. Even if you're logging through a Facebook account into any news site, be 100% sure whether you want to share your details, whether it is your friend list or whether it is your chat or anything else. So, I mean, patience is one thing. The second thing is that be very, very secure as to what you're sharing with anybody and everybody.
Mr. Ramasamy, please.
Yeah, we are over.
Let's have one group photo of all the awardees. Yeah, we can have a group photo, sir?
Yes, yes, why not?
Yeah. All the awardees come forward, and we can